So I came across a video of superstar YouTuber Graham Stephan sharing his first foray into angel investing. It was a pretty cool video, and I mentioned it to one of the angel investors that I know, a very close advisor and confidant, my wife, Kelly Lay. She said she was interested in watching this video, so we'll get to watch her reaction coming right up. What's up, guys? Somehow today the stars have aligned and I was able to book a time slot in my wife's busy schedule to join me for this very special and hopefully entertaining and informative reaction video. Just a quick background, we've been interested in startup investing for many years, and finally about 1 year ago we made our first angel investment, and now here we are. Just this week we've committed to our 6th investment in an early stage company. My wife has really taken the lead in our startup investing as she pursues a new career in venture capital. In just the last couple of months, she's enrolled in 2 VC programs, she's launching a syndicate, and you've participated in many international summits like TechCrunch and conferences hosted by the World Economic Forum. You've been meeting with tons of founders and angels and VCs from all over the world, right?
Yes. I just want to thank you for supporting me through this journey as well. Thank you for believing in me. So thank you for believing in me so much that you invest. That we're actually putting in our own dollars and into my new career as well. I hope that this is actually gonna help more people as well as ourselves. Wait, so you're already recording? Hi, Fred. Okay, are we starting?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What's up, guys? It's Graham here. So through a weird twist of events, I just bought a bank. Here's how it happened. A month ago, I was browsing YouTube and came across a video from Ask Sebi, who broke down the so-called best high-yield savings account. Now here's the thing, I'm a complete nerd when it comes to savings accounts. Since the beginning of the channel, I've been shifting my money around from account to account depending on who's paying the highest interest rate or who's giving the best services. And then of course, I could make a video reviewing them or knocking them down depending on how good they actually are. So of course, when I see a video calling out the best so-called high-yield savings account, I'm gonna give it a shot. But within a few seconds of watching this video, something clicked. This video is about a bank called Yotta Savings account, and just a few weeks prior to this, I had received dozens of comments from people asking for my review of this Yotta Savings account. And I'll be honest, I've never heard of it before, but between all the comments asking for my thoughts on this, combined with the review of Ask Sebi bringing it to my attention, I decided to sign up and give it a try, and I'll admit, I was very intrigued. Instead of operating like a traditional bank that just pays you a set interest rate and that's it, Yotta Bank intends to gamify the experience by turning your savings account into something like a giveaway where every $25 you save gives you 1 ticket into their weekly drawing where you could earn all the way up to $10 million. So of course, I want to get $10 million, so after
I know other banks that do
review
this.
video on it, I deposited $10,000 in the app to try it out, and in return, I received 400 tickets into the upcoming drawing. Like I said, Yotta works on this game-like system that pays you a base 0.2% interest rate, which is FDIC insured through Evolve Bank, along with a weekly ticket for every $25
there are actually
you
like
save.
tons of
Every
these
day,
banks.
Monday through Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, they hold a drawing that picks a randomly generated number, and you could earn prizes depending on how many numbers you match, all the way up to $10 million. However, I was more interested in the mathematics behind this because as cool as earning $10 million is, I wanted to make sure I was actually getting a good return on my money. Well, sure enough, the kind internet detectives did the calculations for us, and this user, Mark, posted on the Doctor of Credit blog, broke down his own calculations and simulations to determine how much interest this app pays based on their available prizes and the likelihood of you actually earning those prizes. Most weeks you would earn an average annualized return of 1.62%, and if you include all the prizes, including the top winnings that are pulled together in the base interest rate, you would earn an average of a 2.2 to about a 2.25% return.
That's pretty good.
But for reference, that's about 3 times higher than even the best high-interest savings accounts out there, so obviously I was in. So my thought was, if I could ride this out for a while, make 2.5% on my money, and get content to review for a YouTube video, I'm all for it. But then something interesting happened. After the first drawing, just one day after I signed up for the app, I thought it was so cool that I got my girlfriend to sign up, I got my assistant Jack to sign up, and I also got my dad to sign up. And shortly after, it became this 6 p.m. event where all of us would compare our numbers with each other and see who matched what. Now, I'm
This
sure
is the
the
best type
novelty
of
of this
growth.
is going to wear
Organic
off
growth
after a
through user
while, but
referrals.
still, it was just so much fun to check the app every single day at 6 p.m. and then see which numbers hit and which didn't. I'm sure there might be some skepticism around, how do we know these prizes are rigged? What is this dollar status, Graham? And to make sure this stays 100% above board after some research, all the prizes are picked and paid out by a third-party insurance company. That way, it's completely double-blind between the insurance company and Yotta to make sure everything operates as it should, and no one could purposely pick the winning numbers or try to influence things in their favor. That's not how this works. So anyway, after trying this out for 2 weeks, one Sunday came around and I got really lucky and I matched 5 numbers and I won $263.23.
I bet he wastes so much time just to like save little money.
And tell him how much I've been enjoying the app. Well, unbeknownst to me, Ask Sebi asked if I was interested in investing in this company as an angel investor and taking a small piece of ownership during one of their first rounds of funding. Now, I've never done anything like this before, but I've always wanted to be involved in some sort of startup or some sort of concept that gets people to save more money. So I decided to take a very close look in the company, its founders, and their business model to see if this is something I could get behind. And the business model behind it is pretty interesting. They're based off the report that 40% of Americans are unable to cover a $400 emergency expense, yet they spend on average $1,000 a year in the lottery. So Yotta aims to bridge that gap by incentivizing people to save more money through a prize-linked system that makes putting money away exciting. It also pays them a higher interest rate than they would be getting at other banks, and it incentivizes them to go back on the app regularly to check in. Although from that, I think the proof is in the results. Yotta Bank launched in early July out of a beta, and since then, from purely word of mouth and referrals, they've grown a substantial amount of new users. So after looking over the business model and understanding the psychology of how this helps people save more money, and after speaking with the founder of the company to see his plans for the future, I decided to invest an undisclosed amount, and now I could officially say I am a small owner in Yotta Bank, which is unreal to ever think that I could say something like that. At the end of the day, it's all about learning how to make saving money appealing to an audience who ordinarily would not save money. Even if that means they have to pay a high amount of interest upfront to you to get you as a customer, to me that's just a normal cost of customer acquisition. And if I enjoy the app myself, I am more than happy to put my money where my mouth is by keeping my savings in the app and also investing in the company itself. And that's exactly how officially I could say I now own a small piece of a bank.
Yeah, so there are actually a lot of these banks, neobanks and I can't really pronounce English.
Neobanks.
Yes.
Neo, like
Neo.
the Matrix.
Is it Neo? Okay, so
Neo from the Matrix.
Neo.
Yes.
Neo?
Neo.
Neobank.
So you're saying that there's a lot of these neobanks.
Yes.
Kind of
Definition
online.
down here.
Okay, so there's a lot of neobanks, but what about the banks that are doing this sort of gamification and lottery, to encourage people to save more? That seems to be the thing that's really exciting Graham most.
I've seen other ones, but I can't, from the top of my head, don't remember. One that I remember most is Line, useline.com. So they're actually a universal basic credit, that's what they call it. And it's for people, like even if you don't have credit score, like if you don't have to submit your credit score and you would be able to get a credit line based on the user behavior. And it's more like a subscription-based product, and then you get a bunch of other things, including a chance to win the lottery. Yeah, so that's another one.
Okay, so some of the founders who are pitching to you want to separate themselves and differentiate themselves from this class of neobanks.
Yeah, so another thing, it's like there's another bank called Oxygen. And what they say, actually we have our friends that works there as the head of product. And what they say is that they are the Apple or the Louis Vuitton of these digital banks, right? And it's built for the millennial and the entrepreneurs to show that they're a kind of like a sexy bank, right? So I guess all of these banks, they all have their little target audience. But I do think that Yotta Bank, is it Yotta? Yotta Bank, they do have a really high interest rate, relatively speaking. I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep that up though.
Yeah, a lot of fintechs are doing things that maybe are a little unsustainable just to capture market share. And Kelly reminded me that last month we bought a bank. Here's how it happened. Just kidding.
Very small share.
One of our more recent startup investments was in another fintech. And is it a neobank as well?
Yeah, it's a digital bank called Capway. Yeah.
So Yotta Bank, that's Graham's bank. Capway is our bank.
Probably gonna be other banks.
So when you're investing in Capway, or if you were looking at Yotta Bank like Graham did, what are the most important things you'd want to know before deciding to make an investment?
I think it's different, like one versus another, but usually you look at the traction and then really looking at their financial models and like their business roadmaps, like how are they going to get their clients. And another thing I think a lot of people look at already, it's client acquisition costs. One fintech, but it's not a bank that I looked at, they had their client acquisition costs at like $90, and then a year or a year and a half later they got it down to like less than $4. So that really shows me that they're learning the market and they're adapting really quickly.
So if you wanted to make an investment in a company like this, how would it happen? Like you have to be a famous YouTube celebrity using the product and somehow just get connected with the right people? Or I mean, what would somebody do to...
Yeah, so there are a lot of these platforms now that, you know, if you're not a credit investor, you can still do crowdfunding like Republic, or you can go on, I wonder Seed Invest is, but we're a credit investor, so you can actually, there are a lot of these syndicate funds that you can join. So if you're a credit investor, there's gonna be a link down below, right? That's gonna tell you like what's an accredited investor. But essentially you can join as an LP. So you can see companies as they come, and then they would send you a link. It's proprietary. You're not supposed to share these decks to people or all the due diligence that they've done to other people. And then you log into the system. They probably have a platform, and then you kind of do your own homework. And the earlier stage, you can probably get to talk to founders because they are really looking for money. At the later stage, they're probably looking for VC that are more established and they want bigger paychecks. So the best thing to do is probably join one of these syndicates, like Backstage Capital is one of them. If you go on Angel List, there's tons of stuff that you can invest in. Actually, you can even invest in index. Their index fund as well.
Okay, so my last question is, what's your prediction of what would happen with a lot of these neobanks? Are a lot of them going to survive? Are the majority of them not going to? What can Graham hope for? What can we hope for with our investments into banks?
So I would say like just look at how many banks there are right now. Like there's credit unions, and then there's like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, you know. So as long as like it's a healthy circle, like, you know, people can have multiple banks as well, right? So I can see like some of these banks get bought out by bigger banks, or I can see actually a lot of the traditional banks like probably removing their branches because that's actually a high cost for them. One of the reasons why these digital banks can give you such good percentage is because they have low overhead as well, right? Yeah, so I see a lot more. I see fintech is just like ripe for disruption, and yeah, that's why we're investing in in tech, and banking is just one little sector. So a lot of different opportunities.
All right. So Graham, there's a good chance Graham will make money, and
we also make money. Yeah.
All right. See you guys next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe, smash that notification bell, and so that you don't miss us next time.
Bye.